Hey everybody, today we're going to do a calisthenics routine focusing a lot on shoulder mobility and a little bit on the rest of the body. We're going to split it up into two parts. If you need to stop at the end of the shoulder stuff, feel free. Otherwise, if you have the time, might as well do the rest of it. So with this in mind, let's get moving with a little bit of muscle activation. So this is just so you can feel the parts that I want you to feel. So first we're going to work on the pecs, the front of the body. So Rosie, I want you to intertwine your hands in front of you, press your palms together, and you're going to try to push your shoulders away from you, pushing your arms away from you. So you can feel those pecs turning on. Every 3 seconds or so, think 3, 2, 1. Try to tighten that pressure. 3, 2, 1. Maybe your hands start to relax and you're just tightening your pecs. 3, 2, 1. And then tighten and relax. And then from here, we're going to move to the muscles underneath your shoulder. We're going to try to get into that serratus. So this is very simple. You're just going to press your hands to the ground. Try to bring your armpits towards your hip without changing the shape of your body. Press it down and think 3, 2, 1. Tighten, trying to tighten this area underneath the armpit right here. 3, 2, 1. Tighten. 3, 2, 1. Tighten. And then we'll go the opposite direction actually. We're going to just get into the traps a little bit. So I just want you to lift your shoulders up towards your ears. You can even put your hands on your hips like you're about to give someone the business. And try to tighten the muscles up here, the top of your trapezius muscles. This one's hard to feel. 3, 2, 1. Tighten. 3, 2, 1. Tighten. 3, 2, 1. Tighten. And then bring it down. Try to separate the shoulder blades apart and get into the lats. So if you could flip around for me, Rosie. We're trying to feel these muscles right underneath your armpit, trying to separate the shoulder blades as much as you can. Think of it as like a bodybuilder, trying to round his upper body. 3, 2, 1. Feel it. 3, 2, 1. Tighten a little more. 3, 2, 1. Tighten. 3, 2, 1. Tighten. And then relax. And then last one. We're just going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So you can flip back around, try to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Finding those muscles in the rhomboids, and again, tightening. 3, 2, 1. Trying to leave your hands relaxed, trying to leave the tops of the shoulders relaxed. 1, tighten. 3, 2, 1, tighten. And then we're going to flip around and get right into it, everybody. So shoulder shrugs for 30 seconds. So we're just going to bring the shoulders up and down, up and down. So for all of these, since we're doing them from time, if you feel comfortable, go as fast as you can. If you start losing track of stuff, maybe go a little slower. Or if you're thinking, oh man, this is really easy, maybe go a little faster. But here you're just trying to feel those shoulder blades moving across your upper back. And then we're going to take this movement and add some extra bits to it into shoulder blade circles. So this is you're going to start with your shoulders down, squeeze your shoulder blades together, bring them up, bring them apart, and bring them back down. Together, up, apart, down. Nice big circles going together, up, apart, down. Keep going. We're going to do this one for about 30 seconds and switch to the other side. Together, up, apart, down. You'll notice Rosie's keeping her hands relaxed. She's keeping the rest of her body relaxed. She's not breaking into a dance, right? You're just trying to isolate the shoulder blades because the shoulder blades are the movement parts of your shoulders. Now go the opposite direction. Shoulder blades apart, shoulders up towards your ears, shoulder blades together, and shoulders down. Shoulder blades apart, up towards your ears, together, and down. And again, you could do this as fast as you like. If you feel like you can slip into this pretty easily, you've got it, nothing else is moving, get into it. Otherwise, you can go pretty slowly, really feeling each portion. And again, you'll notice Rosie's feet are relaxed. She's starting to feel the burn though. That's why she's feeling that little bit of tightness. And now Epaulet circles, everybody. So you're going to bring your hands to your shoulders, big old circles, and just make as big a circle as you can with your shoulders. Nice big old circles. It's going right and around. Trying again to feel the shoulder blades move and not move to the side. So you can flip to the side for me, Rosie. We're just trying not to shift back and forth. So we don't want to go. The whole body doesn't mean to move. You're staying nice and still and moving from the shoulder blades. And then right about now, flip over to the other side. Just going back. And remember, if you've done this video multiple times, you can hear my explanation. I'm here to help, but you can just slip right into it. No need to pause, no need to take a break. We're spending 20 minutes to get some work done. That's all. 20 minutes to free up the shoulders. But feeling those lovely cracks, which are normal as long as they're not sharp. And then now we'll move to one arm. So this is a Qigong move. It's called the rooster ruffling its wings. So here we're just going to go nice big circles. You could turn your head away from the circle, and you could start to bring in your whole body, almost like you're swimming, almost like you're taking that arm and taking a big swim. Turn your head away, getting into as big a circle as you can, just for a couple more seconds, and then flip around the other direction. So still, now you're doing a big backstroke. You can turn your head away if that feels comfortable. If that feels pinchy, just keep your head forward. Good. And Rosie's getting her whole body into it. That's the whole point. Get as large as you can. Breaking it down. Right? You're just the last person at a party dancing alone. If you're near an open window, your neighbors think something weird's going on. It's fine. And then switch sides. So we're going to go to the other side. Big circles, look away. And again, you can get into that big dip forward. Let that elbow lead you. Get as loose with it as you can. The whole body should move sometimes when the shoulders move. They're all connected. So sometimes we isolate, sometimes we get really big with it. This is one of those big times. Big old movement. Big old movement. Good. Just breathing into it and then switching directions. Big circle in the back. Big circle in the back. Letting that elbow follow, seeing if you can almost feel like you're doing a little circle with your hips as you go back. Good. Feeling that big opening. Oh, big breaths. Trying to breathe through your nose. If you're breathing through your mouth, huffing and puffing, maybe slow down just a little bit. And then we're going to switch back to the other arm. Turn your palm open. Nice big arm circles. Now we're going back to restricted movement. Tighten the abs. Nothing else should move. The shoulder is going to come up to the ear, but try not to move the rest of your body. So if you look sideways, we don't want you, again, not doing what we're doing last time. Restrict the movement. Sometimes things get tired because we use them more than we need to. Big old circles. Remember, you can go faster if you'd like, and then switch directions. Just a subtle reminder. But listen to your body. There is such a thing as comfortable discomfort. So no sharpness, no pain, but exhaustion's fine. Big old amount of burn is fine. Yeah, is that good? Is that great? Yeah, Rosie says it's great. Nice big circles, everybody. Nice big circles. Just a couple more seconds. Remember, trying to get as many in as we can, and then go on the other side, other direction. So palm open, go to the left arm. Nice big circles. What? Or if you're mirroring Rosie, this would be the right arm. Either or, whichever arm you started with. Don't keep using that arm. It's the one that burns. Try to keep your elbows locked. Just breathe. It's more effortful than you think it might need to be. That means you're doing it right. Good. And then switch directions. And again, you can go as fast as you're comfortable. I keep reminding you because it's really easy to kind of check out and realize all of a sudden you're just going really slowly. Or maybe you're just going really fast and the blood's come out of your fingers, so you need to slow down a little bit. That's just fine.
My shoulders are making Cocoa Puffs.
Shoulders are making Cocoa Puffs? Like the chocolatey kind? That sounds nice. Don't eat that after this. So then from here, or do whatever you want. From here, turn your palms open. Now we'll do both. Big old circles for just 30 seconds. Again, this is getting into the most flexible joint in your body. This is all about that flexibility in the shoulders. Because if it doesn't move, something else has to. Which case in point, as you get tired, you might notice it's harder and harder to control that little shift back and forth. It's only normal. It's fine. And then switch directions. Nice big circles. Might feel some crunches. Might feel a lot of warmth at this point. What we're doing is range of motion training. So what this is you're really just trying to work that full range of motion of the joint. We're not passively stretching. We're not holding anything. We're just trying to get as much blood flow because that's how muscles heal. And keep going, keep breathing. You should feel very warm at this point. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Rosie agrees with me. Good. And from here, so big. So you're going to take your hands to your sternum and just open your arms out as wide as you can. You can see Rosie really puffing the chest forward, but you're also not trying to shift your hips back and forth. So we're not trying to open and shoot the hips forward and back, just trying to stay still and move the shoulder blades. Yeah, so we're just trying to get right into here. Right into here. Good. Keep going. We're going to do this one for about a minute. So we're about halfway there. No one can hear you because you don't have a mic. So if you call for help, no one knows. Good. Just keep going. Just keep going. If you pause to think about the burn, you'll notice the burn.
Now I notice the burn.
So then from here, now we're just going to do a big circle. Palms to the back of the hand. Palm, back of the hand. Palm, back of the hand. Now this is one that's actually trickier than it looks. My palms are out in front of me, back of my hand here. If I can't raise my arm up easily, so my arm's along the shoulder or along my ear, if I can't do that, it's okay to let my arms come forward. It's not good to shift your hips forward because this can actually really upset your back if you're letting your hips go back and forth. So Rosie, if you show a messy way of doing this, let your hips move around. Yeah, that might not feel so good if you have some back stuff going on. Otherwise, just try to keep your elbows locked because then you'll have to move from the shoulders and the shoulder blades. One of the reasons these things get tight is we just never use them because most of the time we're doing this. But I'm really happy I'm the trainer in this situation and not doing this right now because it's kind of hard. So from here, elbow pulls, everybody. Hands behind you, press your palms flat, pull your elbows back. And just go back and forth like a chicken that's trying to learn how to fly.
I believe.
You believe you can fly, Rosie. It's great. It's great. But then also you want to keep thinking that you're opening the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together, and that someone is behind you trying to pull those elbows together. If you're doing this with a family member, feel free to help each other out. It's just not a hard pull. It's just a light little pull, just to get them to feel that work a little bit more, feel that upper back work a little bit more, and the chest work a little bit more. Just going flopping back and forth. We're just doing this for a minute. What? The non-one-sided ones we do for a minute. The other ones we've been doing for 30 seconds. Couple more seconds, everybody. You can do it. You can also take a break if you need to. That's fine. Just means tomorrow you can do it a little more. And then relax. Then we're going to get in a half moon lat variation. So this is a yoga move. Feet can be hip distance or closer together. Get your elbow on the inside of your head and then stretch out. Switching to the side, trying to get that elbow up towards the sky as much as you can as you go back and forth. If you feel more comfortable straightening the arm, feel free. You'll get a similar stretch. This is just a nice one because it can really let you focus in on the armpit. Also, it'll stop you from coming forward or sideways. The other note for this one is when you want to shift your hips in the opposite direction that you shift your upper body. So when you're leaning to the right, you want to shift your hips to the left. When you're leaning to the left, you want to shift your hips to the right. You can tell I got a good night's sleep because I didn't mess that up. Just going back and forth. This should feel like a nice, almost relaxing stretch after everything we've done so far. Yeah, it's relaxing. It's relaxing for me. Yeah. I feel good about it. All right, so then now we'll switch into some other parts of the body. So here we're going to get into the squats so you can turn your toes out. This time you're just going to slide your arms forward, sitting back as low as you're comfortable. Finding those muscles underneath your armpit, thinking shoulders down as you come forward. And if you're feeling extra special today, you can slip right into little swings with the arms to get into a little hop. Getting into some slight jump squats. Few rules on this if you're jumping. Make sure you're keeping outward pressure with the knees, so no letting the knees collapse inwards. You know that's happening if you feel a lot of pressure on the inside of your leg. And then also, we should barely hear you jumping. If someone is yelling about you stomping around, quieter feet. We're already putting a lot of new pressure on our body when we hop. No need to add to it with stomps. Good. And you're almost using those arms, pushing those hips forward and trying to breathe. You can go to tippy toe as well if you start to get tired, or if hopping is not a possibility, or just focus on your squat depth. All of those things are appropriate. Good. And then now we're going to get into a rhomboid plank. So first you can come down into a tabletop. Good. Hands underneath your shoulders. We'll just take a moment, just try to squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull them apart. So she's just trying to squeeze it together, pull them apart without letting the shoulders come up towards your ears. And then from here, everybody, we'll start by straightening your legs back and doing this from a plank position for a minute. Going back and forth. Try to keep your arms straight. Try not to let your shoulders climb towards your ears. This can be very deceptively hard if you're not used to moving your shoulder blades. So the motion might be very tiny. Another way of thinking of this is you're lowering your chest to the ground and then you're bringing your chest away from the ground. At any point, you can come into a tabletop and practice that, right? Or if you have an object or someone else to help you, you can always take something and put it in between the shoulder blades. And then Rosie, try not to bend your arms as you do this. There you go. Use those shoulder blades. They're not tired at all. But as Rosie did, it's perfectly fine to pause on the plank portion. Because then from here, in about 10 seconds, we're going to slip right into some push-ups. Extra credit with these push-ups when you come up to it is if you want to do them from your knuckles, forces the chest to move a little more, think pinky finger and ring finger and doing pressure. So Rosie, 30 seconds of push-ups. So you can do it from a chest press, you can do it from a wide hand, you can do it from an angle, everybody. So you can obviously come at an angle if I lean forward, do it from a stair, do it from a couple yoga blocks like I have over here. You choose, or maybe it's just a plank. Yeah, or a modification. Knee push-ups are fine. If you have stairs, try to keep your legs straight. Both are good. And then now we'll work on the abs. So I want you to flip over onto your back, Rosie.
So nap time?
Yeah, not yet. No nap time. No nap time yet. So bring your hands behind you, everybody. Bend your knees. And here I want you to tuck your hips under, flattening your back into the ground. So your back's nice and flat, but you're moving from the hips. Bring your knees towards your chest. And we're going to get into a classic bicycles for 1 minute. So this is where you're going to turn your body, take your elbow to your opposite knee, straightening your other leg. Good. And then switch, holding each one for a few seconds. This one we're actually not going to try to do super fast. If you lift the leg higher, it gets a little easier. If you keep it low like Rosie had it, it gets a little harder. The other piece of this is try to get both shoulders off the ground. So feel that rounding. Feel that Epaulet circle we did earlier. Feeling that all in the abs. Toes are relaxed. Breathing through your nose. And if you're thinking to yourself, this is easy, I feel fine, then get your upper body more off the ground. Actively tighten your abs more. Create more pressure in your midsection. Try to get your elbow and knee to fully touch and press the two together. There's always a way to make things harder. Good. And now from here, we're going to slip into a reverse crunch, also known as a wheelbarrow. So this is the one where you bring your arms down to your sides, lying on your back, bend your knees. You're going to roll your tailbone up off the ground, trying to bring your feet all the way back down to the ground. Rosie can do it. I cannot. So, and then coming forward, trying to keep your arms fairly relaxed as you just go back and forth. We're going to keep this up for about a minute. Just rolling back and forth. Now, a couple different ways to amend this. If it feels weird, as in there's pain or anything in the back, focus on just bringing your knees to your chest. Focus on just tucking those hips under, bringing your knees to the chest, just like that. Or if you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I think I'm using my arms a lot. I'm feeling the tops of my shoulders. Lift your hands off the ground. Take them away so you can keep them on your side, or else otherwise your legs are going to get in your way. So try to roll all the way back without using your hands. That is very good. I cannot do that. It is hard. So going back and forth, a couple more seconds, everybody. Good. And then from here, we'll come into 30 seconds of Birch Tree, also known as a shoulder stand in yoga. So this is where you're going to bring your knees to your chest, kick your legs up towards the sky, bring your hands to your lower back. Now this is the trickiest one in terms of form, because while you're up here, you want to try to lengthen your legs up towards the sky. You want to try to press the entirety of the back of your neck into the ground so you're not really pinching anything. Now, by all means, you can always use a yoga block or something like that and just put it on your sacrum. So if I grab something like this, and Rosie doesn't have to move at the moment, but if I grab something like this and put it on her lower back instead, just be careful on the edge there. We'd usually set that up beforehand. Does that feel okay? You could just do that as we hold this for just another piece of 30 seconds. Because sometimes it takes a bit of time to get in the motion. So don't worry about doing a full amount of time. Just enjoy the inversion. Your heart's higher than your head. Good. And then from here, you can come off the block or stop doing what you're doing. Roll down slowly. If you're using any object, it could be a pillow or rolled up towel, lower down. Now we'll get into the diaphragm stretch. So this is a glute bridge where we're focusing on relaxing our abs. So Rosie, I want you to slip right into it. This is the one where you inhale, raise your hips up, exhale everything out, lower down while holding your breath, and puff your chest out. So I want you to keep flowing with it, and I'm going to talk about some points here because this might be confusing. So as you inhale, raise your hips up. Hold that inhale while your arms are over your head. And then exhale out, trying to relax the belly, and just puff your chest forward as much as you can as you come down to the ground, just like Rosie's doing down here. So what she's focusing on is trying to relax the abs. So here's the inhale, exhale out, lower down, puff the rib cage forward, feeling the stretch underneath your rib cage and your abs. Why are we doing this? Because knowing how to relax your abs is just as important as knowing how to tighten them. Good. Lovely. Try one more. And this one isn't as fast. We're getting into the stretchy part of it. And then one more, everybody. We're going to come into Cobra Pushups. So this is where, after your final round of breathing, Rosie, if you could roll over for me. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Hips are in the ground. And now you're just going to press up through your hands and lift your upper body as high off the ground as you can while keeping your hips in the ground. So arms can be a little wider in the push-up. Now Rosie has a lot of flexibility in her spine, which is good for her, and you're going to go up and down. So you don't have to lift your head quite as high. It can literally be just a push-up about the back. So if you have a crick in the neck or anything like that, you can come down and you can go a little smaller. But if you're feeling pretty good about it, just squeeze your glutes, come up forward. Or you can come into a stationary version of this, Sphinx pose, where your elbows are right underneath. Rosie, can you show them a Sphinx? Right underneath you, just coming up. Eyes looking up towards the ceiling, breathing into your belly. If you find this uncomfortable, drive your hips into the ground before you even come up off the ground. Squeeze your glutes and then raise up. Just a few more seconds, everybody. Good. And then from here, lie flat. Stack your hands on top of the other. Take a few breaths. You deserve it. And have a good day.